This is like, goddamn, this poor trophy. Dude, it was like it was probably this big, but my dad's a minimalist, crazy guy, so he probably like thought it'd be cooler to make it smaller. And then with all the years of traveling, these poor little eagles keep getting broken off. But this is like 89, this Japanese contest I won. Yeah, I don't know. Little courthouse nose bunker. That was a good year. I wish I had my bank account from back then. Like Everslick just came out. Fucking, this was a good summer. Going everywhere with Tom Knox and Alan Peterson and God.
Is that a mugshot of you?
Oh, I think this is like first time I was getting a passport. Look at that guy, poor guy. I wish I could tell him something. Go back.
Tell him to chill.
That'd be cool. Just be cool, dude.
I had taken a trip up to Santa Cruz just with my friend to go see Jason, and we went to this art show, and they had all our graphics, all the Jim Phillips graphics, and it brought back all these old memories. And I was like, damn, I want my old job back. And then I saw that they were doing the reissues, and they hit me up like, oh, can we do your board? And I was like, hell yeah, but I want to be back on the team. And they kind of laughed at me. I was like, no, I'm serious. I want to be back on Santa Cruz team. I'm all the reissue stuff's killing it. That's your following. I'm part of that following. I'm down. Let's do pool shapes. You know, that's what your company's lacking right now. And I got a phone call a week or two later. They're like, yeah, you want to be back on the team? And Tom's down too. And we started the veterans division. And I'd been on the team probably for 4 or 5 months, and I hadn't done anything. Hadn't shot photos, video, anything. And I was just partying like a maniac. At the same time, Brian Lottie was living down the street. He had rented a studio down the street, and we were skating, and he started working on First and Hope, and he wanted me to be a part of it.
The concept for First and Hope was to show like what happens in between the tricks, or even more like, you know, skateboards are made for rolling, and, you know, let's see what it looks like to actually skate through a city. We wanted to try and make this really simple thing with 2 people, but it snowballed and turned into this kind of invitational session style thing. It totally took on a life of its own. Eric was living and working in downtown. Naturally, he ended up in the film.
They rented out the county jail bank, and it was like Matt Hensley, I think Ray Barbie, Lance Mountain, and Tom, and I hadn't skated with Tom in almost 10 years. And they came down a day before, and they tried to come get me to go skate, and they were knocking on my hotel room door, and I woke up, I was all hungover. I'm all, you guys just skate, I'll see you tomorrow.
He was supposed to be at the session. We only had like 2 hours to skate that thing, and it was like we were a half hour into it. I was like, where's Eric, where's Eric? And someone had to go and like track him down, and then he might have slammed or something. He slammed a lot for that video, actually. He slammed more than anybody. He's kind of on a dark path.
Normally you'd look at like Chris Roberts, Mark Johnson guy, like normal session. It's like Tom Knox, Dressen, Hensley, and you're like, all right, I like had to text my brother type stuff, like, hey man, just, we were filming, but I would actually get like sidetracked watching Dressen because I'd end up just watching him, you know? He looks exactly like he did in Risk It. Yeah. Because we're skating by the same spots and stuff, like, and he's doing his little turns and like carves and then going on to skate with him every day and do this film. That was really cool.
I was watching Kenny Anderson. He was trying these backside nose blunt slides and getting photos and video and just like making shit happen. And I was just like, I'm fucking up, hanging out with all the wrong people in the wrong places. And I set out since I was a little kid. I wanted to be a pro skateboarder. I'm fucking up, you know. And like just spending this one day filming with all these guys and shooting photos was like, that's what I set out to do. Decided I gotta step up my shit, you know. And I just realized, I was like, man, I can't stop drinking. I'd blown all my money, didn't have money for rent or food, got everyone mad at me, got fired from my apprenticeship. And I bumped into my really good friend, and he was on the way to a 12-step program meeting. He's like, you should come with me. And I was like, nah, it's cool. He's like, I'll buy you dinner. And I ended up just going, and it blew my mind. Everything I didn't know about myself or why, God explained to me in the first 5 minutes I was there. and I've been sober ever since. You know, I'm 45 now, bad knees. I still can skate, but just can't, you know, go crazy like I used to. Some of my other boards, my Skate Mafia. Guess model just came out. This one, it's autographed. I was complaining to my girlfriend that like they put the screaming hand on everything. I was like, I gotta come up with something. And she was like, why don't you do one holding the tattoo machine and stuff? That's what like I love skateboarding now. Everything's cool. I know it was a little rough there, you know, in the early '90s, mid '90s. People like not like this ain't cool, that ain't cool, but I think everything's cool.
You know, he's Eric Dressen. How can you not love the dude? He's like legend, fucking amazing, innovator. You know, he did shit a lot of people didn't do or couldn't do. A year ago, he couldn't skate because his ankle hurt. He was a lot bigger. He fucking looks great right now.
He's not a Bitter Harvest dude. A lot of the old Bitter Harvest dudes are all like fucking, yeah, well, fucking dude. Well, fuck, dude, so what, man? Skateboarding doesn't owe you shit. It owes you wheel bite in the rain. You owe skateboarding. And he knows that, and that's why, you know, I rate him and I respect him. He was out of it for a bit, but he got back into it, and now he's on top of his game now, just the way he was back then.
You know skateboard?
He experienced the part of skateboarding that hooks you. You know, the first time he got on a skateboard, he's going down a hill, it's just taking him somewhere, and it's moving, and he's turning, and the ball bearings are falling out, and it's real, you know? He didn't get on a board and go, oh, Johnny hard flip 10, I'm gonna do 11, you know? It's something else. You fall in love with it before you get good. I don't know any guys that skate in the 70s that don't constantly think about it, whether they even involved or do it at all or care about it. They, you know, they hadn't touched a skateboard for 20 years and they're like, I'm a skateboarder. And that's where Eric came from.
You know, when he skates, he skates like he's from that world. Like you would romanticize somebody being from, like, just, yeah, fucking we're doing this. Because he came from that OG, you know, I'm standing on a fucking 3-inch wide piece of oak trying to figure out how to turn and come back down the wall. I mean, that's fucking profound. Like, they didn't know. They did not know. Like, think about the guy who walked in and was like, let's try to ride the pool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking, the first dudes that actually did that, like, if you could hit the rewind tape, and Eric's coming out of that fucking gang of dudes. The dude's skateboarding royalty.
Today I didn't think I was gonna be able to skate. I don't know, I was super nervous and stuff. And got a whole brand new setup and new bushings, but this thing's working good. I love this board. All the homies are here right now. Scott Oster, Olsen, Kasoy's here, Jake's here. Fuck. Man, everyone's ripping. You know, we used to do this every day. I get these little glimpses of how it used to be when we were young. You know, didn't have any cares in the world, just went skateboarding, just, you know, we owned it. I'm just a skateboarder, you know. I don't really consider myself this legend or anything. I've been around forever, but I don't know, I just don't think of myself that way. You know, I just fell in love with skateboarding.
Little guys, little salad. Small salad. Small salad.
What about the salad grinder?
Salad grind? Shit. I guess, came up with that maybe 87. or something. Because like on mini ramps, like we'd always like kind of slow down, you know, and like you come up backside, slow down to set up for something. And I was like, I'm gonna try it front side. And I didn't like it. I thought it was a goofy trick. And then I think once I went home, I went back up to stay with Tommy Guerrero, and they had like Bryce had a mini ramp, and I was just dorking around doing it. But then I was extending it, and they thought it was cool, and like I think Bryce shot some photos of it, and I think Kevin Thatcher named it the salad grind, like Eric salad dressing and stuff. But I called it the windshield wiper because it was kind of like a windshield wiper, like I don't know.